Hey there, thank you for joining me. This episode is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I would like to give a little tour of my base. It's ironic because this episode probably took me the most time preparing, and it's going to be the shortest episode I've recorded. So the people that followed my series and have seen the previous episode, they know that I built some sort of industrial complex here with a lot of these pressure drills and things like that. But if we look around, it's all gone. Now fear not, I was the one responsible for removing it again, and I will explain that story in a moment, because it's one of my weaknesses, my OCD-ness in the game. So let me take you to our base. We'll start in the storage area. So this is most of my storage. It's a storage room, and the moment we go out, we actually are in the base that, like I promised, is situated above the lake. The meteor crater lake, let's call it that. Right there. There's that new waterfall. The beach biome is in that distance, and the volcanic biome is in that distance. So you can already see a little bit of my base here, but I want to start at the front. Stand up here. So this is my storage room. On the right, I have some biomes and the aquarium. This is kind of symmetrical. Those two items there. So this is where the 3 bogs are being made. And this is where the fishes are. Over here, this greenish building is the biolab. I use it mostly to craft the smart fabric and the fabric. So I have the silk generators here. On the left, this building is symmetrical, also connected with a walkway to that building. And as you can see, it's my biotech, well, building, let's call it that. This is where the incubators are. So where I can craft all my my frogs, my fish, and my butterflies. And if I go up, then this is where the storage is. These are all the storage lockers that carry the necessary items for my, well, experiments, let's put it that way. And it's completely symmetrical on the other side. I'm not going to bore you by going in, but yes, it has the same layout. You can see the storage lockers there, exactly the same. This is a little bit of a walkway. On the right, I actually like this. I came up with this silly idea because there's really not much you can do with customization in the game, and I'm not disappointed about that, to be honest, because I think developers really find a really nice balance between storyline, base building, and survival. So I figured I would make a base like this. Don't worry, we don't have to run upstairs here to get all the way to the top. I have a teleporter there. So this basically only serves the purpose of holding or keeping that room up. That is my living quarters, but we'll go there in a moment. Then here is the power generation area and the heat generation. These two areas, they were part of my industrial complex, so I moved that over, and again, I will come back to that later as to why that happened. This is just some kind of beautiful area, kind of where you can walk around. Originally, I had planned to put some seating benches down here, but that didn't work because you can only put benches inside of buildings. I was very disappointed about that, to be honest. But again, I'm not mad or disappointed. Well, sorry, I am disappointed, but not mad. Alright, this is another building where I have some storage for seeds mostly. Tree seeds, plant seeds, tree bark, food seeds. Everything is absolutely completely automated, of course, so the drones, if they have work to do, because they're kind of out of a job right now. I think most of them are kind of hanging around at my drone area, which we will go to next. But first this building, actually. So this is all the gas extraction, the oxygen, methane, nitrogen is being done here. And this is the butterfly pavilion, as I called it. A little bit of decoration, some fish tanks. You can actually sit here. On the left hand side, I have all the storage for the fish. I'm not sure how many eggs I have. Some I have, and some they're not easy to get. I have to put more of those fish things out. Let me see here, where's that thing at? I've been putting these across the map in lakes and things like that, and I ran into a fish that I didn't even see mentioned on the Wikipedia. I don't think I'm the one that discovered it, don't get me wrong here. The Galbia fish. It's a really beautiful fish. I actually got that from the lake in the meteor crater, right where I'm hovering above. I put one of those things down, water life collectors, and sometimes they will generate fish eggs depending on the area where you're at. And yeah, that Galbi, I didn't find it back in the Wikipedia. Maybe I'm just using an old site or something. This is the butterfly equivalent. So you can see all the butterflies. And as soon as I develop more butterflies, and these will, because they're kind of empty right now, to be honest. And where's the one that you can buy? I think it's called the Valkia. Or is the Valkia the fish? Either one. This is the algae generating processing plant. Remember, I had that whole algae farm, so this was all moved here. I have some storage lockers free for whatever happens in the future. And this is basically where the algae is being generated. So we start with the tier 1 fertilizer, tier 2 fertilizer, then we go up the mutagen chain, and we go down to the food and the common larvae. Is it the common? Yeah, the common larvae. So this is all kind of full. That reminds me, because some items, for example, this water life collector, it generates more things. So if you're looking for a specific item, like for example, phytoplankton B, let me take a sip here, then this water life collector was gonna keep generating, for example, also phytoplankton A and C and fish eggs. So at some point, if you don't do anything about this, it will no longer generate phytoplankton B because there's no room for it to be generated. So what you kind of want to do is you want to look at the water life collector and make sure that everything is picked up, and then you put them in storage boxes with a higher priority. So I have priority 4 here, but it could be lower. I just did 4. And the rest will literally be put in here. So if you look in here, then you can see that this is all the fish eggs and the other phytoplanktons, also the bee. But the moment I need B, it will first put it in that storage locker, and then it will automatically destroy any leftovers to keep those water life collectors pumping and going, because I might need A at a point. You don't want it to stop. So all the extras, literally extras, will be destroyed here. The same, another item is the bee, the bee nest, whatever you want to call it, because it generates honey and bee larvae. So as soon as those are full, I'm not sure the honey is on the other side, I think here. It is. As soon as that is full, then all the leftovers will be pushed in here. The same goes for my storage of bee larvae. I have so many of them, I don't know what to do with it. So also, destruction is enabled automatically. So as soon as that is full, it will destroy it. And what is that thing called? The bee nest? The beehive. Yeah, okay. So the beehive will keep producing honey and bee larvae in case I need them. So it doesn't stop completely stockpiled with bee larvae and not generating any honey, for example. This is my teleporter here. Let's go to the living quarters. Up. So that is above that fancy tower that I made. We have a nice little kitchen. It's one of the new items where you can cook all these beautiful recipes and goodies. I actually put them here. The chocolate cake and some soupies. I don't use them. I find it a waste. I use my normal food. It's good enough for me. Some nice plants, some frogs here on the floor. Some storage, some effigies. I can do more with these. I really should decorate a little bit more, I guess. Some microchips. Some production fuses. Anything else here? No. I do have to note, by the way, and people that play the game, they probably have noticed this. This living quarter dome, the moment you put it down, you sometimes will notice that you cannot build on it. It will give you, I'm not sure if I can actually show this right now. I don't have anything, no, I cannot build anything right now. I don't have the goods on me. But, for example, if you want to put down the bench, you see that it will not let you do it. It turns red. Simply save the game, reload the game, and then it will let you do it. In order to build this, I think I had to reload the game 3 times. So, that is the living quarter. I have another tower here, which is the control room. So there's also my base. You can actually look out here. You can see all the structures. So this is mostly where I find my information. When I'm done kind of working, I can sit back with my chocolate cake. And yeah, that brings me to the next thing. So I was installing all these screens, and including the mail screen, and I don't know if this is a glitch, I don't know what happened, or if this is part of the game and we haven't seen it yet. But the moment I clicked on the mail, I already, a couple of episodes ago, I noticed this auto tab here, and we now have some messages here from CO Done. And I almost clicked it to open it, but I didn't want to do that because I was going to record this episode. So, well, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is an old message, or maybe there's nothing in it. But let's have a look. Okay, this new place is a bit warmer than my last camp, but I'm still extremely cold. It's been 2 days since I ran out of food. I miss my family, I'm so lonely. I've lost all hope. I will have to move out soon. I'm terrified of going outside once again. It's so dark and so cold. I wish I had a better memory, but I'm not sure if this is an old message that we've seen on one of the screens in the bunkers, or if this is brand new. Because I don't want to spoil it for the people that play, but if you've watched my series, so it's not really a spoiler, you've seen that we found his corpse. It's I'm not going to say what it is. People that have watched my series, they know where we found him. So, it's a sad ending for him, but let's click on the next message. But now I'm a captive, bodily in irons in a dungeon and mentally imprisoned in one idea, one horrible, one hideous, one unconquerable idea. I have only one thought, one conviction, one certitude, condemned to death. That sounds familiar, like we have seen that before. Then we have a message, and I didn't even see this one when I spotted these before, because I left this alone, and I think I got this message recently, so it doesn't show who it's from. 3034. Today was the inauguration of the Space Warp Gate. It took 2 years to build it, and finally we would be able to easily cross the Ezekiel Prime sector. But just after we turned on the main power reactor, everything went wrong. The power immediately went down. All the reactors and stabilizers broke, and within a few minutes, and the spaceship was inexplicably drawn to the closest planet. We tried everything to fix it, but it seems there's nothing we can do. All the crew has escaped. In the escape pods, I sent a distress signal. I'm going to my pod now too. What a waste. All these months of work are going to be lost. I can't understand what happened. This shouldn't have happened. So we don't know who this is from. So I'm wondering if the developers are kind of opening a door here to a new storyline. I would really welcome that. That would be fantastic, because I think the story is really, really cool. So we kind of know that this whole power issue was actually caused by this civilization that used to live here. They have this really weird gadget, this device in their those ancient ruins that kind of sucks the power out of anything that comes near to the planet and draws them in. Kind of like a vacuum cleaner. But yeah. So that was weird. I was just building up my stuff, and I was like, oh, well, let's look at the messages. I've read them all, and then suddenly I spotted these, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So I didn't know. Alright, looks like we have some meteor strikes here. This one is turning more and more violent. At least it seems that way as you play the game and it progresses. It's getting more and more violent. I'm not sure if it stopped. I'm not sure if it reaches a peak at some point, but I have the impression that it gets worse and worse and worse and worse every single time this meteor strike hits. It's absolutely crazy. So you just see it. I do know that some people have suggested that the base building should be vulnerable to meteor strikes. Well, whenever one of these strikes comes, you basically can start a new base unless you build it in a cave. So I hope they will never implement that idea. I don't think they will. Alright. So while everything is happening outside, let's have a look around. I did some decoration here. Some effigies. Yeah, some screens. We are 23% towards mammals. That might sound maybe like a lot, but it's not a lot. It's gonna take me, with the current setup, it would take me literally weeks of playing to get to 100. So I probably will launch some more rockets, get some more stuff built, and yeah, you know the drill. Alright, and you can see the numbers here. Some beautiful screens. I really like the way this room turned out, if I say so myself. Alright, let's go back to the storage. Alright, so the storage is just, yeah, well, there's not much to see here. I have some double lockers, for example, maintenance also collected there. The base was really built with the focus on nightly beauty, if I can call it that. You will see a lot of lights. I'm actually going to check that before it gets really dark. I put a lot of area lamps down and other lighting. Let me to the control room. I wonder if we can actually see that on the energy screen as to how many that is. It says that I have used 381 area lamps. Because, like I said, there's only so much customization you can do in the game. And again, you know, I'm not mad about it. It's part of the game. And so I figured, well, what we can do is try to kind of make a color scheme and kind of lighten the place up a little bit. So as you can see, I kind of divided it up in different colors. This area is kind of yellow, the storage area. I have yellow lights here, yellow. Yellow area lamps here, some flowers there. The area where I do all my fabrication, couldn't resist that one, is all green. So because it also depends on the buildings itself, but sometimes I actually put area lamps inside to kind of help get that color across. So this is kind of green, I have area lamps inside. This is kind of purplish. I figured purple because of the tree. This is kind of supposed to be white. The problem with the area lamps is that they don't always show the light from a distance. So right now it almost looks like, see, this is green, but it's really white. At least I think it should be white. Yeah, it's kind of white. So put lamps on there, lamp on the top. And when it's really dark, you can kind of see the effect of it. I think it's really beautiful. Then this is blue. So those incubator rooms, those biolabs, they are blue. And this tower is also blue. I put actually lights, and it took a while. I put lights on the outside here, so you can see the area lamps to light that place up. This is mostly green. Green area lamps, green big lights, spotlights maybe. I don't know what are they called again. Outside lamp. Okay, well, let's call them spotlights. It sounds more fancy. This is kind of like reddish. And well, you get the drift here. The purple for the power and yellow orange for this one. You can see the area lamps here. Eat something. All right. Yeah. So the other thing is that I wanted to mention, because as I was building this, I discovered a few things. Well, I'm not saying that I'm the one who discovered it. I'm pretty sure other people did. The first thing is that the snap building in this game can be very, very, very annoying. These three structures, because this is a 2x2, to put these on top of each other, I had to use other buildings around it to make it snap properly. Because what happened is when I took the floor out, it started snapping to everything around it, and I couldn't get around that. So I had to build like this, these living quarters next to it, and yeah, the snapping in this game can be very, very annoying. And I wish they would have an option to turn that off. I didn't find it in the menu. Maybe there's a mod for that. But yeah, it kind of drove me literally up the wall, so to speak. The other thing that I noticed is because I did a lot of transporting of goods, because you can imagine when I took down most of that industrial complex at the algae farm, that I had to use my drones. I started with 30. I expanded to 75 to keep it up. And often enough, you have stuff in your storage. And even at priority, now this is 3 right now, but I can put it at 5. This is my Dropbox, and I will adjust this accordingly. I tried using all the items, select them all, so that anything I drop here will be delivered to the appropriate box. And I noticed at some point that it simply didn't work. Even with priority 5 at this box and the priority 5 at the receiving box, a lot of times the drones were doing other stuff. The moment you leave the game and you reload the game, this is fixed. And you see that all these items suddenly are being picked up. So it is like, as you play longer, that the drones lose track of the priorities, or I'm not sure what happened. And this is also very noticeable, even though it's not really quite related, with algae. The algae generation and the algae production is now easier because the drones pick up the algae automatically. The problem with the algae generation is that it doesn't glitch out anymore, but what happens is that you cannot assign a priority to the algae pickup. So if you go to the algae generation, I'll show you that in a moment, because it's actually dark, so let me actually show you the dark, what the base looks like in the darkness. But yeah, when you do the algae generation, you cannot tell the drone that it's priority 5. So I honestly think that the algae generation and the algae pickup is at the lowest priority and might even be below 0. So the moment the drones have a lot to do, they more and more ignore the algae to the point where the algae is absolutely last being picked up. So that stops your whole algae farm production, and I've seen people in other streams that actually thought it was a glitch. I don't think it's a glitch. The algae doesn't glitch out itself. It's just that the drones seem to lose priority, side of the priority, so to speak. So I kind of show you the base a little bit at night. You can see all these colors. Let's go outside before it's day, because the night doesn't last long. Oh, I'm standing against the couch here. Let's go out. And like I said, it's my way of trying to kind of customize things. You have this beautiful green, yellow there, the purple. I actually really like the purple, the glow here. So you have the blue. The white doesn't really show. So let's fly over the gas extractors. You have the green here. Some of the butterflies on the outside. Those, well, spotlights. They don't really show the light here though. This is also green. So it's very colorful. And yeah, the tower is just, I really like. I was thinking about what can I put on top of here, but there's a lot of stuff that you cannot put down on foundations or even, you know, lift it or uplift it in the sky here. So for example, you can put down the outdoor farms, but you cannot put any amphibians down. You cannot put any butterfly farms down. And like I said, I was slightly disappointed about this benching stuff. I would love to have these benches here so people could sit here. I don't know who these people would be because I'm all by myself, but maybe I develop some kind of multiple personality disorder. I have no clue. Or maybe in the future you can play multiplayer. I don't know. Let's go to the launching pad. Oh yeah, that's talking about launching pad. That was, I have to admit, my major disappointment, because I had originally planned to attach the launching pad to this structure somewhere, and I tried everything to get this connected. I make this huge platform here, even with foundations, to see if I could put it on top, if I could link it and hook it up to here. Sometimes it did give me a snap symbol, but it never got to the point where it turned green and I could put it down. I did some researching on Reddit, and it seems to be that it's, I'm almost tempted to say impossible. So maybe somebody can correct me and show a screenshot of somebody that actually has a launching platform connected to the base, because that was my big hope, that you could have that rocket launching from this base. I think that would be absolutely awesome, but unfortunately that was not to be. And I tried for like an hour, everything. Like I saw the snapping symbol, that little, what do you call it, that lock symbol. And I was like, okay, it's red, so something is in the way. Maybe it's a larvae. Maybe I can do something to get it connected. No, I gave up. I could not get that connected for the life of me. So I put it here, connected to 2 of my trade rockets there, because frankly, yeah, at some point there's nothing left to buy. I got it all. You can see that the drones are kind of hovering here. I actually have also drones in here in case I need more production or transportation or logistics going. So once in a while they go off, but honestly I stopped most of my production because these things, trade rockets, they're going to be transporting those energy cells again. I'll just build up a little stockpile of money. Yeah, so that is the base. You might notice that around the base or underneath the base it looks really lush. I put a lot of trees down, algae generators, you can see the stuff there, water collectors. This is where basically all the natural growth is happening. Flower spreaders, farms, yeah, trees and all that stuff. So, fish farms. I got the froggies here. Yeah, it's a slight shame because when you stand in the base, you don't see most of that. I set up the highest graphic settings, and it's still too far. But that it doesn't matter much. It's you know, I know it's here, and yeah, sometimes it is a little bit uneven, but apparently squash likes growing sideways too, so that is fine by me. But yeah, you can see it's nice and lush, and yeah, I put some, let me see if I can find them real quick here. I put some optimizers down here as well. I put the 2 trees here, tree spreaders. I put some optimizers here. This one has the plants multiplier, and this one, if I can click on it, has the oxygen multiplier, because the tree spreaders have both of those. If you look at the numbers here, you can see that's a multiplier of 8,000 and 7,500. For oxygen is 8,000, plants 7,500. And those are actually, I think, the best trees in the game right now. I think I bought these. So yeah, that is pumping up the values. Let me think here. Well, I think I've shown you most of the base. Let me go back up. No, I don't want to put a teleporter down there. Sometimes it's good to get a workout, so I'll just go fly up and down. So I'm not sure if that's much of a workout in a jetpack, but... Alright. So yeah, this took me more work than the previous algae farm and the industrial complex combined, because I basically had to tear those down, destroy stuff, transport stuff. And yeah, let me get to that story, because I basically built this base, and this was all kind of done. This was done that area was done with the seeds. That seeds, if you look at my crosshairs there, that seed department. And then I heard this little voice in my head that said, well, wouldn't it make more sense to actually use the lake to use for algae generation and put the production over here? So you have it all nicely centralized in one area. The other voice said, no way, because that would take me flippin' days to do this. But you know how it goes. You always lose out of those arguments, especially if you're OCD. So, as a result, I basically started doing that because I was literally about to record my episode and upload it. And I decided to put everything here. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That took me really a long time. Well, the layout is the same. I have an optimizer here. Energy-wise, yeah, we'll never run out of energy. And yeah, so that was kind of funny. I was about to upload and I decided to change things up a little bit. Yeah, so I showed the kitchen also, the new food items that are available. Let me actually hover over that because you might be wondering what's the point of the food items. And some of them have a buff. Let's go to the living room. What's the kitchen? So the cookie increases running speed for a small period. It restores health for 90. The normal food also restores health for 90. So the cookie is better than the normal food, but yeah, that takes a lot more ingredients. Because every piece of chocolate is 9 cocoa and every piece of flour is 9 wheat. So yeah, that's a lot more ingredients. The birthday cake has no buff, it's just a celebration of the game. Restore health 50, reduces thirst for a small period. You don't really need it. And fish soup reduces oxygen consumption for a small amount. So maybe down the path there will be a big diving area in the game where you really need oxygen or something. Would be fun. Oh, let me actually get some water before we die here. Alright. Let me check my notes. I'm just checking my note because I made some notes the things that I discovered. Yeah, mostly about the drones that you sometimes need to reset it. Also, it helps sometimes to reset this and assign new things. And then even when you have assigned something and you reset it and assign it again, you'll notice that sometimes the drones will start picking it up. I do think there is a disconnect between the drones and the priority system at some point. Also, I noticed that while I was moving stuff around, I can't show you this. It went away before me. When I was moving stuff around, sometimes you'll notice an item has a lock, little lock icon, and you cannot do anything with it. You cannot move it. You cannot. The drones won't pick it up. It's literally locked, and it goes away after a couple of days. I'm not sure what is causing that. I think it's like a desyncing between what you're doing and what is on the server, maybe. But yeah, there's a lock icon. I've never seen that before until I spotted it for the first time, maybe a couple of days ago, and it was locked. And I reloaded, and it was still locked. And I discovered that after a couple of days, it will simply disappear. So it's nothing serious, but you might run into that. So don't panic if you play the game. Yeah, this is basically it. I'm not sure how much shorter of an episode this is. It was me mostly rambling. I think it might actually be a really long episode. But yeah, this is my base, and I might fine-tune a few things, but I said it last time, and yeah, that didn't hold true, but I'm kind of done building. So we'll just have to wait and see what the expansions are going to bring. But yeah, I feel I'm ready, and yeah, I like the base. There's really no purpose to it, because like there's nobody else that's going to visit. I honestly do not think they're going to make this multiplayer. I know that they're working on a surprise, but I think it's too much to expect for this to go multiplayer. I think the surprise might more be about the Planet Crafter, the second game. That is my hope, that they expand this somehow into interacting in space with other people that were convicts and banished to a planet, terraform. I think that would be really cool. Oh, let's have a look at the waterfall. So, yeah, I'm kind of done building. I think I will upload when there's a new patch coming out, of course, but until then, I don't see much point of uploading an episode unless there's some specific requests people have, but yeah. Either way, guys, people know my opinion about the game. I think it's definitely one of the best games I played for at least the last, I don't know how many years. it's such a great game, and yeah, I just love the storyline. I really hope they do more with Icarus, because we know that Xiao Dan, he passed away, fortunately, but Icarus, we don't know what the end fate is. So hopefully we'll get a beautiful ending to that, and maybe that will be part of Planet Crafter 2, because my expectation is that there is going to be a Planet Crafter 2. There just has to be. This game is so successful, they're not going to leave it be, and I don't think they should be using their energy and focus energy on multiplayer, but they should really focus energy on Planet Crafter 2 and maybe incorporate multiplayer in that one. So I'm not sure if the devs will see my video, and if they do, then they will probably be really mad at me for saying that they should really work on a Planet Crafter 2. But this game has been such a great success, I am pretty sure that is going to be on their radar. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and catch you guys next time. Bye bye.